Welcome back, softies, for another episode of the Soft Knocks podcast.
Welcome to the fucking show.
Well, how was the New Year's?
It's terrible.
It was terrible.
Fuck. So I was like coming down with a cold or something when we last recorded.
Yeah.
And then it turned into like a full-blown like sinus infection.
I was wondering why we didn't see you show up.
And I was just down for the count. So Friday, I was telling you I had to meet up with a buddy of mine.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And then, and I felt fine. And then Friday night, I was just like dead to the world. I went to bed at like 7 o'clock. And then I didn't do anything all day Saturday. Went to bed early. Didn't do anything all day Sunday.
Yeah.
Except
That's what I was just...
watch some football.
That's what I had the week before. It's going around.
Yeah, and it just knocked me on my rear. I didn't really start to feel better until Tuesday, maybe.
Yeah.
Sucks. It's the holiday weekend, you know?
Yeah. Well, I stayed up till 4 a.m. and watched Rambo, so I got...
On New Year's Eve?
Yes. We did a lot of drinks and some gummies.
Oh.
Kept us going.
How was that?
It was fun. It was decent crowd showed up. Just played games and Anthony showed and our champion Cody showed. Yeah.
So did that get decided on that Sunday, right? On New Year's Eve?
Yeah, like an hour before he showed up.
Yeah.
It was
So I'll brag a little bit.
Oh, I know. I knew this was covered.
4 leagues, 4 playoffs, 3 in the money, one championship, and that championship was a lot.
Yeah, that was the one to win for money.
Yeah.
If you won.
To see that Venmo come through, because I honestly couldn't remember what the percentages were. It was 60%, so it was a
60-30 or 60-30-10.
I think so. It was at least it was 60 to the winner because that's what showed up.
Nice. How does Bruce want his payment for second?
I talked to him today, and he said, "Tell Frankie I want my money."
How? Is he in Arizona?
He said,
we want to staple it to a magazine and send?
He said, I'm already charging him interest.
Does he have a Venmo?
Yeah, he has. I'll get it to you. He has either Venmo or PayPal.
Okay.
Worst case scenario is you can Venmo me and I'll Venmo him.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if he, he's old school. I didn't know if he wanted, like, cash.
He probably would. He would probably want, like...
I always prefer cash, but whatever.
Like we're all on the same cell plan, so like he just gets a bank draft from me, so he likes that. But my sister, doesn't have all that stuff set up, so I think she pays him with Venmo. So I think he's pretty sure he's got a Venmo. Oh yeah, he's got a Venmo, because I was just talking to him like a couple days ago, and they were about to get scammed out in Arizona trying to sell some furniture to somebody. He's like, he was telling me that they were having a problem because someone wanted to pay for it in Venmo, and they, what'd they say? They wanted to pay for it in Venmo, but when they went to Venmo the money, they got something about setting up a business account and him having to put like $250 in it.
Oh,
I'm like, no, that's not a thing, Dad. Just if she wants to buy it, she can pay you in cash. He goes, but she was going to have her friend pick it up for her. I'm like, oh, nope, that's a scam.
Did the chick have her like tits out on the? Is that what attracted him?
It was
to
one
this?
of our Russian bots.
Yeah, Russian
followers.
Oh, yeah, she's like, big fan of your son's podcast. Can you send me $250? Yeah, Cody brought the he brought the night to the party. There was no need to. It was just to flex.
I would have. My dad is still bitter about it. He had a really good team, and he got no breaks. No. I mean, he must have watched all of the games too, because he was like, he brought up that that Higgins play where it was almost a touchdown, but he got there was pass interference.
Yeah, did he go to a sports bar or something?
I don't know. I don't know what his deal was. But he was paying attention because He was not wrong about that. And then
When I saw McCaffrey go down, I
McCaffrey-
figured they'd just hold him out anyway.
McCaffrey was kind of hurt, but he also got stopped on the goal line, and so did Williams from Denver.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a number of things that kind of went against him. But in the same sense, you have to assume there was a number of those plays that went against
It was
Cody
Cody
because he
too,
had
yeah.
it wasn't like Cody, scored 125 points or anything. They
No.
both had down days.
Yeah,
But
actually.
that's how that stuff works, It's just how
Yeah,
fantasy football goes.
Yeah, that's luck. I mean, there's some luck involved. And
Oh yeah. There's some skill to get into the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs, and then there's a lot of luck winning the championship.
Yeah.
All right, so here it is, national championship. We're watching Michigan and Washington. Michigan's out to a quick lead here.
Who you cheering for then?
Washington. I've said it from
you
the
said
go that I liked them a lot. I thought they would get here. I thought they could beat Texas. I think Michigan's I don't know.
If I didn't have any money interest, I would be cheering for Washington, but
Cheering for Washington, but I'm not an idiot. I think
I got it.
Michigan is probably played the better competition all year.
yeah.
And if they can play their game of just ground and
What was
pound
their
and
third year in the row? It
Yeah.
feels like they're due. I don't know. These guys are pretty good, though. The Washington, a lot of pros at receiver, especially.
yeah, quite the offense.
Mm-hmm. So NFL is sadly done. Well, regular season.
Yeah.
The Bears, I kind of thought they'd beat the Packers yesterday. Or
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of torn because the Bears kind of pissed me off a lot, right? Because
You
they're going to
don't
end
say.
up, they ended up with they're going to end up with the ninth
Ninth
pick
and one.
of the ninth for themselves. But I think that I hope they keep Fields.
I was going to ask
That's
that.
what I hope. Because if they wanted to have, if they wanted to change it up and go to a different route, they should have been tanking a while ago. Like they should have been purposely losing games. They should have had 2 top 5 picks.
I think they kind of wanted to see if Fields could do it, though,
Yeah.
before getting rid of him.
I think the answer is he can.
Yeah.
And I understand the money side of it of the rookie contract
It's coming
and
on, yeah.
and like resetting that. But like you have to reset that with a coin flip. Like I don't care what anybody says. No one knows if Caleb is going to be great.
No.
No one knows if that May guy or if Penix comes out.
Well,
Like
would you say penis?
yeah, Penis Jr. here. Penix.
You'd love penis on your team. Well, if they move on from Fields, I think it'll be for only that Williams guy. I think, but
Oh yeah.
I don't think they'll go for penis or May.
It'll be interesting to see what happens because if I'm looking at the order right now, so the Bears have the 1 overall from Carolina, and then it's Washington, and then New England,
Yeah,
and
I
then
think that's
Arizona. So I think,
Yeah, I think
if you
that's
want
right.
if you want Marvin Harrison Jr., the lowest you can go is pick 3.
right. Get to doing.
You can't let Arizona get ahead of you because they'll take them.
Oh yeah, they need that'd be a dream spot.
I think, and I think it would be a risk. People are saying that Washington's going to go quarterback, but I don't know that.
I kind of think they will. They're going to clean house there, and
Yeah. Well, they already started. They
Yeah, got
unloaded
rid of-
2 of their good defenders. They fired their coach. I don't know if Sam Howell is really the problem there,
no, he
It's
he didn't have any O line or
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. If the Bears, they're talking like the trade offers for Caleb could be crazy. So if that's the case, you're kind of silly not to because
Yeah.
you just don't know how these guys are going to really turn out.
No, I think we've said that. I don't really like Caleb
Honestly,
off the field. He's kind of a pain in the ass, but
I mean, you
Seems
could
like
trade down and still end up going with one of the other, 3 quarterbacks in the draft.
kind of
Really,
think Daniels might be the best pro. I don't
yeah.
know. He's a freak athlete.
so I don't know. It'll be interesting to pay attention to the draft this year and just see how it all shakes out. Did you see that story where Minnesota evidently was like wanting to trade like 5 picks for Anthony Richardson, like last year's draft.
And they said no to that?
And maybe what I read was a fake story, but because it was on Twitter, but
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
I think they're stupid not to do that. The Colts, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, Gardner Minshew almost got him in the playoffs. Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think they'll get some offers for that 1 pick.
Yeah, and they may not have to move very far. That's the craziest thing about those offers and stuff is that like they're going to get a bunch of picks, and there's a chance they just move down to like 3.
Didn't they do the reverse with Trubisky?
Yeah. They moved up. They moved up 1, and it was a terrible pick. That's what I'm saying. Is like, I don't think that the Bears should be risking it. Like they have had terrible luck drafting, and I think they did a pretty good job with Fields drafting them. They just haven't done anything for him.
Yeah.
They
finally got him a receiver. It'd be a fun offseason to be a Bears fan.
Well, it's never that fun. They'll fuck it up somehow.
A lot of assets on the team.
What pick in the first round do you think the Cowboys are going to end up with?
32. This will look bad when they lose to Green Bay next week. No. But yeah, there's some good good games. I was very relieved to see Dallas on Sunday and not during that party we had on Saturday.
I feel like this happens a lot. The slate for Sunday looks a lot better than the slate for Saturday.
I think they do that on purpose, right? Get more eyeballs on a Sunday, yes. I think. Yeah, the Browns, Texans, and what's the other one?
Browns, Texans, and Dolphins, Chiefs.
Okay. Should we break these down?
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, Browns, Texans, Browns just recently beat the shit out of them, right? That might have been without Stroud, though. I can't remember.
Well, they literally, I think they just played in Week 18. The Browns sat a bunch of players, and the Texans had to win to get in, right? Or am I thinking...
No, you're thinking of Browns sat a lot of players against Cincinnati this past week.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
Okay.
The week before mattered, and they beat the hell... But Stroud might have still been out with that concussion. I can't remember.
I think
when Amari Cooper had like 260 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I think the Browns are the better team. Like if I look at both of these teams, I think offensively, I think they can be pretty close, right? Texans, if they had Tank Dell, I think it's a different story because then they have like an elite duo of wide receivers. But like their running game, I mean, it's been all right, but it's nothing special.
They had to move Singletary to the
right and
number
then,
one.
I mean, C.J. Stroud is something else. Like he's special. And then when you look at Cleveland, they've been great with Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Like it's weird to say. There's no way in hell I thought that Joe Flacco would be able to do what he did. Like
if someone told you before the year that Browns will be resting Joe Flacco in the last game of the year for the playoffs. Yeah. He's been. You just wonder if that'll run out because I don't know.
It will. I just don't know if it'll be week 1 of the playoffs. I think that, but when it comes to defense, who has got the better defense?
Yeah, it's Cleveland. Yeah.
Defense wins championships. That's what the cliches say, right? So
no, I would assume they might even be a road favorite. I haven't looked, but I would guess.
I haven't looked. It's probably pretty close. Yeah, but I think the Browns win that game. I think it'll be a good game. I think they're probably the better team if you consider both sides of the ball.
Yeah, that's probably who I'll drunkenly bet on Saturday. So that means the Texans are going to win.
Yeah, maybe.
No, that Stroud is good. He made some throws the other night.
Yeah,
How sick are the Panthers? I mean, not that Young, he may be okay. I don't know, but it does not look good.
It'd have been an interesting experiment if it was flipped, right? If Stroud went to the Panthers and Bryce Young went to the Texans, and we'd be sitting here saying the same thing about how sick is the Panthers having not taken Bryce Young. Like you just don't know. The situation's so different,
Yeah, Carolina does not have much, but
Yeah, I mean, who was their leading receiver this year?
Thielen.
Yeah.
It had to be Thielen. Yeah,
40-year-old white dude.
Yeah. A starter on the all-white team. That's how bad. But yeah, no, okay, we'll go Browns there.
Dolphins Chiefs.
I think Chiefs.
What a game I don't really want to watch. Like, if you'd have told me that on Wild Card Weekend, at the beginning of the year, you told me we get to watch the Dolphins and the Chiefs play, I would have been like, awesome. Tons of offense. But honestly, like, I am just worn out by these two teams. The only good thing going on in that game is the coach of the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
I kind of like I don't even know what it is, but the under, I don't think they'll score a ton, either one.
But yeah, I mean, the Dolphins have some injuries going on. And then the Chiefs' defense is actually pretty good. It's in Arrowhead.
It's going to be cold. Miami in the cold. I don't know.
And you know, Miami doesn't have a very good record against winning teams. So
yeah, I think the Chiefs will do that. Will win that one.
I think the Chiefs win it. Like, the NFL script writers, they're not going to let the Dolphins win. It's going to be the Chiefs. They're at home. It sets up. The other side of that is that if that's how it goes, if it goes Browns Chiefs, it sets up the next round of the playoffs really well for the ratings. Those two win, and then you get the Browns versus the Ravens and the Chiefs versus the Bills. And
that would be Mahomes' very first road playoff game.
He has to go to Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know, that's what'll happen because that's the best TV numbers. Oh, I guess we still got to talk about the Steelers versus the Bills. I kind of
you kind of just said what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think anybody questions that. I think that's, I guess it's probably one of those things where when everybody else zigs, you should zag. But I think the Bills have.
Yeah,
that.
I don't see that.
I mean, would they have to win 5 in a row to even get in the playoffs?
A couple of those were little sketchy wins, but that Josh Allen, he makes a ton of mistakes, but he is good. Like some of the throws he makes are ridiculous. Yeah, I would go Bills, and then
just like when you think about it, like the Steelers, they're just.
I don't know how they got in. I thought
they're going to be starting Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, big head on that. Biggest head I've ever seen. It's unbelievable. Looks like a robot.
It's all the HGH.
Or when Myles Garrett hit him, it just made it bigger.
His brain just swelled and made his.
So yeah, we got the Bills there.
And that's the AFC picture. I mean, you get down, if that's what happens, and you get to the next round, and you got the Browns versus the Ravens, the Chiefs versus the Bills. I think that the top 2 seeds win it. I think you get the Ravens and the Bills in the AFC Championship. Yeah. On the NFC side this weekend, Packers versus Cowboys. I think we all know who you're rooting for in that one.
They should win that game. I mean, Dallas. But they've had Packers have been their enemy for years. But there's no Rodgers anymore. But
when you look at Dallas in the playoffs like this, do you look at this and go, all right, on paper, Cowboys are a better team. They got a home. They somehow miraculously pulled off and won the NFC East. They're the 2 seed. They've got home games throughout, at least until they
probably go to the
NFC
Niners
Championship, right?
If they win the first couple.
Right. Do you look at this and just like talk about how they're going to win, or do you think about how they're going to win,
how they're going to lose,
fucking ruin your life?
I keep saying this team might be different, but you don't know. The Packers, I've watched them. They don't look great by any means, but hell, they lost to Carolina, I believe, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you never know. I don't know.
I think the Cowboys are going to win this game. Like, if I was going to put money on it, it'd be on the Cowboys.
Dak and CeeDee are just on a tear. Yeah. I mean, those two are really
You just hope the defense
clicking.
shows up.
The defense is a worry because they tend to need to play from ahead. Like, they got to get out to an early start. And I would not bet on that game just because in my mind I'll jinx them somehow, even though I know that's not a thing. But
yeah, I don't know what kind of bets I'll make on this stuff.
that one I'll sit out, but Dallas should win that game. I mean, if they don't, that's a terrible.
I mean,
job.
it's in Dallas. It's a home game. They've
They've won
win
what?
It. They're on a
16 straight at home.
They're on a tear. Like they should
should.
certainly win that game, and that's who I'd pick for it.
Mm-hmm.
The NFC playoff picture actually is kind of good. Like I was looking at the AFC one. I kind of went through it, and it was somewhat obvious on how you kind of expect this stuff to go.
Mm-hmm.
That Dolphins Chiefs game, maybe it could go either way, but you really think the Chiefs are
Just
gonna
my
come
gut.
out there,
I don't see Chiefs losing at home to that team.
Right. So, but on the NFC, all right. So I think the Cowboys are probably going to win that one. Then you get Rams versus Lions.
That I could see the Rams.
Yeah. You think that the Lions they're the higher seed because they won the North, and you think there's a dual revenge game scenario here, but it's really
I think it's more
from Goff.
Yeah, I think it's more on him.
You know.
Yeah.
Like Stafford, I mean,
He won a Super Bowl.
yeah.
No.
He got to go live in Southern California and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but when you look at that game, I was trying to think about this. These two teams both have really good offenses. They can both run the ball. The Rams, I mean, with Kyron, legit run game. You know what passing game they have.
That is my trigger, Kyron Williams. When I traded him.
Cooper and Puka and what they've got going on there, they both these teams have really good offenses. And then I was like, who's got the edge on defense?
Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Laporta going down, that's big.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was trying to look up and see when he's going to be back. It didn't seem like he was going to be
I don't think it'll be this week.
back this weekend, but who knows?
Okay, so with the Rams do have the better defense.
Yeah, so I think they've got a bit of an edge.
That will be that crowd's going to be lit. First playoff game in how long?
Detroit can't have anything nice though.
No.
I'd love to see them win because it would be awesome to keep the dream alive of a Browns Lions Super Bowl. But let's be realistic here. I got a reputation to uphold.
Yeah. Of losing bets.
Yes.
But no, I that Laporta thing's gonna hurt. He's their second best weapon, I think. And
yeah.
I can see why Campbell's getting some heat, but I can see why he played. I mean, you still had a chance at the 2 seed.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole do you rest everybody BS? I think if you've got something to play for, you just keep playing, right?
Especially
and that people can get hurt at any time.
Yeah, it was a routine route. I mean, it could have happened in practice even. It just
people get hurt in week 1. It just is. You just got to play football. It's a tough game.
Actually, good. I thought it was torn when he did it, but it's good that it's not. Hopefully, he'll be back, but I kind of doubt this week. But we'll see.
Yeah, I know. He said he could be ready by Sunday. We'll know more in 48 hours.
He's an Iowa guy. Iowa tough. So you're taking Rams.
I'm taking the Rams. I think the Rams are going to do it.
I feel we should disagree somewhere, but
we might. Well, I don't know. You probably not on the next one.
You know what? I'm going to go Lions just because of the home field. But I think it's going to be really close. I would not be surprised the other way.
I could
Stafford
see that.
He's a stud, man. He's good.
He is. He's like the wide receiver kingmaker.
Yeah. I mean, he really is good. And he's been there before, I guess Goff's been there before too, but oh boy. Michigan.
I want half of your winnings on this because
you're jinxing
because
this.
I bet on Washington, so
you got enough winnings with your your fantasy. I haven't won shit.
Oh man, I had that $1.70 in reward money up to $95 today before this game.
Your patience is astounding. I could not do that.
Because I don't think of it it's not even about the money on the end. To
I
me,
know.
it's the percentage increase. So
I did kind of take that route yesterday with those games, or was it not yesterday? Saturday. Did a little on the Steelers and a little on the Bills. It won't hit both of those, so maybe that's the way to
What's
go.
the other game here? Eagles Bucks.
I feel like we're missing an AFC, no?
No, we talked about.
Oh, no, we did all three.
We did all three. We just barely talked about the Steelers one because
That's okay.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
foregone conclusion here. It feels like
Monday
which
night.
probably means Steelers money line.
That would be a shock, but
Eagles Bucks.
I think the Eagles are done.
I'm gonna take the Bucks, but like, you know what happens if the Eagles?
It does scare me that everyone's like, "Oh, Bucks," but like, have you watched the Eagles? I've been watching them every week because they're Dallas. We need them to lose. They don't look good at all. I don't know what happened to that team. If it's the coordinator's gone, but
I don't know.
like, it's a similar. I know they lost a few defensive guys.
They were the losing leg of a teaser for me on Sunday because I didn't think there was any way they were losing to New York.
Get blown out on top
I
of
know.
it.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but you know that if like the Eagles win, depending on what happens with that Lions Rams game, but if the Eagles win, the Cowboys could have to face them in the divisional round.
I wouldn't want that.
No, I
but-
know that's the only reason that like I'm thinking like I think the Bucks are gonna win because there's something wrong with the Eagles team right now. I don't know what it is.
It's in the locker
but
room. Something's going on.
Well, they lost AJ Brown, right? Like he's
it looked
done
bad,
for this
but
week.
I thought he said he's going to try to go.
I don't know. I just from what I initially heard,
it didn't
seemed
look
like it was
good
bad.
when it happened, but
Right, and if he's out, like, what do they really have? You know,
if he's out, I will feel confident in the Bucks because I think Hurts is being exposed a little bit. I think that coordinator helped him a lot last year. But
yeah, they certainly haven't looked like the same team.
no.
So
Even
I
in
don't
their,
know.
they started 10-1, and a lot of those 10 wins weren't pretty. I mean, they squeaked by quite a few.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So but I think it'll be a good game. I think, but I don't know. It's a home game for the
It'll
Bucks.
be good, and the Bucks really aren't that great.
No, I know
but-
they're not. They're another team that doesn't feel like they should be that great, but I guess that Rashad White's really kind of turned out to be a pretty good running back.
Mike Evans is still a stud.
Evans and Godwin on
Godwin's
the
all
outside,
pretty good.
it's hard to.
Baker's kind of
hard
up
to
and
beat
down,
that.
but when he's on,
He's made
decent.
himself a lot of
Yeah,
money
he has.
this year. I'll tell
He
you
has.
that. He may not be a starter forever, but he's earned himself permanent
He'll be in the
backup
league
status
a long
in the
time,
league
yeah.
for a very long time.
Well, if Carson Wentz can keep coming back, then he can.
So that'll be interesting. But I think that I think the Bucks win that, which means you get the Bucks at the Cowboys.
Is that how it would go?
Yeah, Rams at the Niners because Rams are the sixth seed, and so the Niners would get the highest seed.
Oh man, that would be dream for Cowboys.
Yeah. The Cowboys have the best road to the NFC
You know they're
Championship.
gonna fuck this
I know
up.
it's like where does it happen, right?
It's
Do they lose to Baker Mayfield?
that one. I see them losing to Green Bay more than I would the Bucks, honestly.
Oh
but
man.
Mike McCarthy revenge game. We didn't even talk about that. Big Mike. They put all the blame on him
Oh man.
when he had that diva Rogers.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. So then if that's how it breaks down, if it's the Bucks versus the Cowboys at home, Rams versus the Niners, I think that makes it easy to say Cowboys Niners in the NFC Championship.
I could see McVay and the Rams giving the Niners a game though.
Yeah.
But probably not winning. No.
Yeah, I think they'll all be good games. I don't see anything on the slate that looks like a straight up easy beatdown. Even the Steelers-Bills one.
No, it's
that's
playoffs.
like
There's not going to be a
those
beat.
guys have played each other enough that like it'll be close.
The Steelers, they just ugly up the game
Yeah.
so much. They do probably need T.J. Watt though. He got hurt.
Man, I know, and it didn't look good. But
No.
then afterwards they made it sound like it wasn't so bad. But boy, it didn't look good on the field.
Yeah, I'd be on the couch for 2 months. He's going to play a football game.
Yeah, and I'm a little biased with how I've done all of this, but I still think it ends up as a Ravens-Niners Super Bowl.
This seems to be a safe bet. Yeah.
But it could,
If
the AFC, NFC.
if Dallas gets back to San Fran, I think that will be a close game. I
Yeah.
don't think they'll shit the bed like they did earlier this year, but
The only
I
thing
don't see them
about
beating them, though.
about those 4 teams, like picking those 4 teams, the Bills, the Ravens, the Cowboys, and the Niners, to be in the AFC and NFC Championship, is they're all 1 and 2 seeds.
Yeah, you think an upset might happen.
Yeah, you just think that
somewhere.
something will. So I don't know what that is. It could be.
If I'm picking the upset, I would go the Rams over the. Or no, you.
The
Oh,
Rams
the
would
Final
have to
Four.
beat the
They'd have to beat the
Niners.
Niners.
Yeah, it's tough. Maybe on the AFC side, like maybe the Browns upset the Ravens.
Yeah.
That can happen. The Ravens have they've
Browns
beat a lot
did
of people.
beat the Ravens earlier this
Yeah.
year with Watson. But
That could get ugly. Who knows what the weather does? I mean,
Yeah. That's
like,
a big deal. Yeah, the weather.
Chiefs and Bills. There could be 4 feet of snow on the ground.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good NFL slate. I think it looks pretty good. We've got the old man fantasy football party on Saturday to
Can't
watch
wait.
the first 2 AFC games.
And then maybe go to a shady bar afterwards. Again.
Yeah, where'd we go last year?
I was talking about this with Brad. I can't remember the
It
name
was
of it.
Was it Mickey Finn's?
Mickey, that's it. I knew it was Irish.
Yeah.
Mickey, there were some creatures there that hour. we were a few of them, I think, but
Oh yeah.
that was fun.
We were the outsiders at that place. That party should be good.
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah,
You know.
JD, we'll see if we can get a ride there. At
Yeah,
least.
it'd be nice to get a ride there because it's Uber otherwise.
Saw George yesterday. Yeah, we were just watching the Packers game last night. Was that last night? Yeah. And he's out of nowhere. He's like, your great grandfather was killed by a poison pie from a communist. Or no, a Confederate. Excuse me, a Confederate, not a communist.
Oh man.
And I'm like, why do you know this? How do you know this? He says research.
Research. George is just on. He's on like one of those DNA things.
Yeah.
He's like on 23andMe, and he's like researching all the
Does it say,
all the.
does
Was
it say
it a
killed?
Northman or a Confederate?
He was killed by a Confederate.
Oh, okay.
Do you think it's under this guy's killed by a poison pie from a Confederate? Not even like a...
It's on the Ancestry.com.
Didn't even get shot. It was a guy offered him a pie.
Well, it was probably hard to come by food back then.
Did he lure him in as a friend? Like, yeah,
Oh God.
here's some pastries. So shout out to my great grandpa. Rest in peace.
Oh man. Have you ever done one of those? Like any of that? Like
I did, and it's before I became really aware of the government. I feel like they took my DNA.
for what purpose?
They'll probably say I killed John Benet Ramsey or something someday. Just plant it. I don't know what they're doing with it. But yes, I did, and I found out, yeah, it came back like exactly 50% Italian. And then my mom's side is a mix of a lot. But it's kind of interesting.
It is interesting, and it is like, I don't know about the government taking it for any purposes, but like that's how like the Golden State Killer was found.
Was found.
Right? Like they ran an old DNA thing through that, and they found like some distant relative and reached out.
So I'm fucked if I decide to go on a rampage here. I'm done.
Oh man.
So this Golden State Killer willingly gave his...
No. So like they had his DNA from a crime scene, but back when he was doing it, they didn't have the technology that they have today.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So they reran the DNA, and they found like not his on there, but they found a cousin or something. Man. And it was just related, and they were like, "Hey, cousin, like we have somebody related to you that was probably the Golden State Killer. Like, do you have any weirdos in your family tree?"
Wow, you think you got away with it, and then...
Yeah.
Good thing he was probably almost dead anyway, but... Jeez. Talk about bad luck, I guess. Damn technology.
Oh man.
Yeah, imagine that shock when the police showed up. He's like, God damn it.
It's like, God damn it, my neighbors called about my dog again.
Yeah. Like, sir, yeah. It's not about your
sorry,
golden
this
doodle.
isn't about your this isn't about your golden
No,
doodle.
you violently murdered a bunch of people 50 years ago.
Oh man.
Do you think this is Harbaugh's last game as a Michigan?
I don't know. I think, see, Harbaugh strikes me as a guy that will go out and drum up business, and just put feelers out there, just to make Michigan give him more money.
Pony it over.
You know,
They're saying he really wants that double up, though, national title and Super Bowl. I don't know. If he does leave, I think it's going to be for the Chargers. There was a rumor
Could be.
Adam Schefter said that he loved Justin Herbert a few years ago. Thought he could.
Yeah, I don't think he leaves for anything less than exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
Right? Which is, as an NFL coach, you have to have a QB.
Oh yeah, he's not.
So
leaving.
either he's going to end up somewhere. There was talk he could end up at the Bears, but I don't think they're going to fire their coach. So I don't think that job's open, because the Bears were going to have the number 1 pick, and that he could choose to take Caleb or whoever, right?
Or stick with Field.
Yeah, but
I mean,
LA makes sense.
Herbert's at least, he's proven he's a good player. At least I think he.
They're saying that Mark Davis has really wanted him in Vegas for the Raiders.
Oh, they don't have a quarterback though.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of people that want him. That was just one that came up. They said they might make a big push for him or for New England, Belichick.
Yeah. I think Belichick's done after it looked like he was done. Yesterday they were treated it as a final game almost. I think they're going to go get Vrabel as that's what I think. Yeah.
I see that.
He used to play there, and kind of that style of coach.
Belichick is still a good coach. I don't know where he ends up. He says he still wants to coach. The guy's 70 or 72 or something like that.
I don't know why he wants to, but
these guys, it never ends for them. They just die
take
on
your
the
floppy
field.
man boobs and go hit on the young girls.
He's not. He can go do anything else. He can't be an announcer.
No,
He'd be a terrible.
he doesn't
Terrible
need to do
announcer.
anything though. But,
No.
yeah.
No. These guys keep score in wins, not in dollars.
Yeah, that's true. He does want that win total, I think. So he needs another couple seasons, I think.
You should let him come coach the Bears.
Maybe.
No,
They're saying the Washington team might.
yeah, there was talk of that.
But-
They were talking New England might trade him to Washington, which could still happen,
Yeah,
right? Because if Belichick goes on the open market, he can go wherever he wants, right?
yeah.
But he's still under contract. They'd have to fire him, which is a weird thing. You don't hear about it very often.
No.
But
I don't know. I don't know how much I'd trade for him though. An older coach. I don't know. But
no, I mean, why would you give up anything for it? But then again, I mean, Washington's been a pretty poorly run organization for quite a while. So
Magic Johnson's involved now. He wants to blow it up. Do you still
he
just
knows-
think AIDS?
I was gonna say.
I mean, I was like the elephant in the room. If
I was gonna say he knows how to cure everything.
he's got enough money to cure anything. I mean, but yeah, Magic. If people say that, I still think AIDS and then basketball player like this.
Yeah.
Didn't even realize how good he was until I started researching.
Oh, it's so true. Speaking of
AIDS.
speaking of NFL coaches, how about this? How about this skirmish between
Yes, that's what. Yeah.
Arthur Smith and what's his name? Dennis
Allen.
Dennis Allen,
He's-
the New Orleans coach.
Now, I didn't see the play. At first, I was like, it's kind of a bitch move by Smith to be that angry, but I heard they were in a kneel down formation
Yeah.
and then handed it off or something.
Yeah.
I could see a little kind of a bitchy.
I had to do a little reading because also I wasn't watching that game. So I didn't see it live. I saw the argument and I heard him go into the
Yeah, that's
the
fucking bullshit.
handshake. Yeah, and he's like, that's fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'm a firm believer of if you don't like it, stop it.
That's how I felt until I heard that they were in the kneel down formation.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
And the dude probably knew he was getting fired because he did
Yeah.
get fired. But I don't know.
In the same breath, though, like I think it was just like a week or two ago, I was watching some game, and I was so pissed that this team was down there on the 1, and they like there's like a minute left in the game, and they're still acting like they're trying to score.
Was it Tennessee killing Iowa? Because that's what happened.
I don't know. It might have been.
They were up 35.
No, it was because I bet the under in that game.
Yeah.
And that's the only gripe with it is it was like
So Iowa came through for you. They got to stop
yes,
there. Yeah.
Yes. Iowa, like
Yeah.
there's only like you only get a handful of locks in a season. And the Iowa under is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was like I don't remember what it was. It was like 36.5 or something
Yeah, it
before
was
the game
right.
time.
Yep.
And I remember I was watching that game because we were, Mia's a big Iowa fan, so we're watching the bowl game, and I was just so pissed. I'm like, what are these guys going for it? But it's like so hypocritical of me because in the same sense, I'm like, oh, if you don't like it, stop it, right?
But they didn't have money on it.
Yeah, I didn't have money on the game, so I didn't care. But yeah, no, it's so funny.
Even
how
the
that
announcers
stuff-
in the Iowa game were like, it's a little much. Maybe we should just knee it. But I don't know. Fairness didn't seem to.
Well, did you? So in the NFL, so the Saints versus the Falcons. Did you hear any more about it?
Oh, I heard that the coach of the Saints pretty much admitted he's a beta and nobody listens to him.
Yeah, but like I guess that the players like audibled out of it.
Jameis Winston, right?
And like the offensive line for New Orleans said it's on us. We wanted to get Williams a touchdown.
Yeah.
He had a touchdown incentive and he hadn't had one as a Saint yet.
So it was an incentive deal. I can get that too. I could see both arguments, I guess, on there, but
I think we need more controversy like this.
ruthlessness.
Like it's fine. Go for it, but I want the coaches yelling.
I remember when Harbaugh almost fought that old Lions coach at midfield when he was a Niner. Can't remember the Lions coach name.
We should
now.
allow coaches to fight each other like there's fights in hockey.
If you have a coach fight, who are you taking to win the whole thing?
Oh man, Dan Campbell.
Mike Vrabel. That would be one heavyweight battle. I mean, that would be amazing, actually. Who would be the weakest? Matt Eberflus? Mike McDaniel.
Yes,
He's
yes.
pretty. Like, I think Belichick could beat up Mike McDaniel. Yeah. He's pretty scrawny.
Belichick would just look at him wrong and he would just give up.
Don't count out Big Mike for the first 10 seconds before you.
We're talking about a fight, not a race.
Big Mike, man, he's just always looks
Andy
hungry.
Reid.
Yeah.
Andy Reid envisions your head's a Big Mac.
Yeah, every time Mike's looking at that play card, I'm like, he's just ordering his halftime meal.
That's a menu. That's not
it's a Denny's.
Not a play call.
Yeah, on the headset, he's just calling it in.
And they're like, Mike, we know what your order is.
Yeah,
2
Mike.
tremendous 12s.
Like, Mike, we got 3 minutes left till half, please. I like him though. He's a nice guy. Not the
Mike's
best.
he's all pissed on Thanksgiving because people keep throwing those turkeys in that bin. He's like, no, it's my turkey.
He forgot Dallas plays every Thanksgiving. Before he
Have
took
you
the
seen
job.
those? Have you seen those State Farm commercials?
Yes, with
Andy
the
Reid?
chicken tendies.
He's like, not do it with the chicken nuggies.
I like Andy Reid. He's a pretty
great.
good guy. So you got to bring your dollars on Saturday for the Dollar Cup game.
Oh man, we should explain for the.
Go ahead. I'll let you take the lead.
So, this Saturday, one of our fantasy football leagues has a party every year, Wild Card Weekend, and it's like it's potluck style, BYOB, but we watch the football games, and we do the last. We didn't always like. I've been in this league for, I don't know, 15 years, 18 years, and we haven't always done this game, but it is a great game. We call it the dollar game, but essentially you have a solo cup, and everybody picks a spot around the couch, the room, whatever, and so you're in the same order, and you pass around the solo cup. In every play from scrimmage, you throw $1 in the cup, and you just keep passing it every play, and then whoever has the cup when their play scores, so field goal or a touchdown, they get a.
Are you getting that call too? Walkie closed.
Oh yeah.
I was like, who's calling me?
So we got interrupted by stupid walkie schools.
Yeah, no school for the kids tomorrow.
Kids' schools are out tomorrow because of the snowstorm. Anyway, I'll go back to my story
Go
about
ahead,
the dollar game. You pass this cup around, you put $1 in, and if they score on your play, touchdown or field goal, you get everything in the cup. And so what happens is that you go through some of these games and, you know, you get some of these cups, they get up
Defensive
into
battles.
you get up in like 30, 40, 50 bucks of dollar bills shoved into the solo cup.
The joy of winning a cup
Yeah.
is second to none.
Yeah, it's there's nothing else like it. Like, it's a great game. I don't know who came
Shows
up
what
with
big
it.
losers we are. But
Yeah, but
It is
it's
fun.
fun. It's fun, you know. So we
yeah,
just-
first I think I doubt he invented it, but Matt's the one who told us
Yeah.
about it.
Matt is like,
The best commission.
he's the best commissioner that I've
Yeah.
ever dealt with. Now I've only dealt with a couple, so
And the other one's me, so that's a pretty low bar. he
But
is
he
good.
sets these parties up. Like, he'll have like gift cards going for like, we'll also do the
Didn't he hand a NFL football out one year?
yeah,
Like,
one year he had a football, which I think ended up through someone's
yes,
window.
yes, it did.
But it's Toby's window.
Imagine like the string of events that had to. He's like, I'll bring a football for the winners. Play a nice little game. It ends up through someone's window.
You just have to
Just-
assume that's what happens. It's like saying like you're gonna bring fireworks and like someone's not gonna start a fire.
Oh.
But yeah, so we'll have that going on Sunday or on Saturday, and that'll be a blast.
Yeah, it will be.
Last year, there was a bunch of other games. Like I won money in the cup game, but then I lost money. There's like some like horse racing board game or something,
Oh yeah, that
dice
was,
game or something.
Brad was all about that
Oh
game.
man, that was a waste of money.
I'm sure it'll be there again.
It doesn't matter.
We'll
It's just
see.
about gambling and having fun.
And I don't know if he'll remember, but I won my bet with Kevin.
Yeah, I know. We
Cowboys.
talked about this a couple weeks ago,
I didn't-
and
it
we were
didn't
both
look
thinking
great.
like you weren't going to be able to win it.
Do you
And-
think he remembers this? He.
I don't know, but I texted to the group. It's in the group chat that Matt.
Do you still have the group chat?
It's the one that Matt just texted us on. It's
Okay.
like it's two texts above the one he just texted us about the party.
Good, because I don't want to be like, no, I didn't.
Because I'll gladly
bring
pay
it up.
him.
We're gonna bring that up.
I'll gladly pay him the $20 that I owe him.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd forget about it a few weeks ago, but now, come on.
In hindsight, what a stupid bet for me. Like
Fields over
fantasy points, Fields over
Hurts.
Hurts.
That's not stupid.
I mean, it was an injury, so you know, I probably should have put some sort of
Injury clause.
should have put like, yeah, you got to play a certain number of games. We do it on like points per game.
Because Hurts, all of his were like tush-push touchdowns that
Yeah.
made him so good at that fantasy.
Anthony paid me out on my quarterback.
He
bet.
did?
Yeah.
Huh, he hasn't paid me yet.
Well, it shows you where his loyalties lie.
Although I should
What
go
was
back
your
and
bet?
I should go back and look and make sure I don't owe him because I didn't pay attention in the losers bracket and I lost.
Oh, what was your guys' bet?
I think it was just regular who wins position higher in the regular season, and
Oh.
I beat him there. But I could be wrong. Maybe I'll go back and look with that would suck.
I'm really disappointed in our league.
Yeah. I'm saying that no, I'm not trading next year. Period. I start getting bored. I'm like, think we need some action going, and I just fuck myself.
That is the problem. That is it. Is that you're sitting there in the middle of the year and like you're just like, God, I need
More player.
extra action.
Yeah, an extra action. But you always need that depth if you have any, and I just pissed it away. But whatever.
That needs to be an episode, though. I want you to go back and undo all the trades, and then see what your record would have been. at
I
the
did
end of
so
the year.
many. I actually thought about this the other day because I remember you asking that. What I've won. Kyron Williams was a stud in the fantasy
You'd
playoffs.
have to go. I mean, like you'd really. It would take work because you'd have to go back and look at the players, and then like redo those matches. and see who would have been there. And you had to be realistic about who you would have started. But the trades you made were easy, right? Like Kyron would have started. Pittman would have started, right?
The only one that...
Your quarterback, I don't know what you would have done.
The only one that was... I traded Cooper for... God, who was it? I don't remember now. Well, first I got Cooper for Moss, Zach Moss.
Yeah.
Which that one I'm okay with. But then I traded Cooper for someone I can't remember. Maybe I put him with Asher. Oh, I think I put him in that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Kyron and Pittman the ones that hurt me. I mean, those guys are studs. But then again, I did need a quarterback, and Fields was decent. I mean, geez. I don't know. Was it?
Yeah. I mean, you can't beat yourself up too much about it. None of them were egregiously bad. If it ends up as a Baltimore and a Niners Super Bowl, I'm going to have a hard time there because I think Baltimore's a better team right now. But I'm going to be hard-pressed not to be rooting for my boy.
Oh, you'd root for him. I would probably root for him, yeah.
I used to be a Niners fan. In the early mid-90s.
You should switch back.
I know. I don't know what mistake I made in my life that I decided I should be a Bears fan. But when they were having it out with the Cowboys in the 90s,
I think everyone was.
I was a big Niners fan. In middle school, I did a report on Jerry Rice. I had
that was your hero?
I even wore, because this is one of those reports where you had to do one of those cardboard storyboards.
Oh, I remember those.
And you had to stand there and like a science fair, but it was like a report thing. And at middle school, I had to stand there one night. I had shoulder pads and a Jerry Rice jersey on. Yes.
You had his gold earring hanging out too.
No gold earrings.
But you dressed like that for school or the night before?
It was the night. It was like after school. It was like a night thing where everybody showed up to do their reports. Man. And I did all this research on Jerry Rice. Like, did you know that his dad used to throw him bricks instead of footballs, and that's why he had such soft hands?
No, I did not know that. Really, his dad was just an angry drunk.
But yeah, Jerry Rice was one of my favorite football players when I was a kid.
He is a stud. You look back in that era when they didn't pass like this in his numbers. I think he's pretty clearly the best there ever was.
Yeah.
What he'd do today is kind of scary.
Yeah. Could you imagine him in an offense where guys are throwing 4,000, 5,000 yards? I know.
He'd be 2,000 easy, I think.
Yeah. It's like these records that these guys go after and things, they just... I mean, I get it. I grew up loving baseball, so baseball's full of records that people chase. But football, it's a different sport.
It's different, yeah.
Not to mention that they added a game.
Mm-hmm.
What are they talking about? They're talking about Puka and his rookie record. Well,
yeah, he had one. Yeah,
you got an extra game there, bud.
That's why I liked Lamb broke the Cowboys record, but it was in the 16th game, so they could still say there was no asterisk there. No, I know what you mean. I'll tell you what record I think safe for quite a while is Emmitt Smith's rushing, just because how the game's played.
Yeah. What's the number?
I can't remember the number.
Is it
22 or no, not that high. 18,355. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of
yeah.
yards. And they just don't stick around as long anymore. You know?
Yeah, fantasy back then would have been fun. It'd have to be Jerry Rice or Emmitt Smith probably, or Barry.
The old man league. Have I ever tell you about how it used to be?
Oh, shoot, sorry. That's my kid. Go. I just text no school, and JD sends me this video of them saying, I know. Okay.
Yeah. We used to do... we used to not have free agency.
In
fantasy football. We had what you called...
stuck?
We had what you called a supplemental draft. And so you would do the normal draft at the beginning of the year. You draft all your players. And then if an injury happens, you're just stuck until the next supplemental draft. And at the next supplemental draft, it's just like a real draft. It's a snake draft, but you have to show up. You can't. There's no like calling anything in. You have to show up. And then we did like 2 during the regular season, then we did 1 right before the fantasy playoffs. Now the only caveat was that they had a emergency QB rule where if you had 2 QBs on your roster and they both got hurt, then you could pick one up. You could call something into the commish and get one picked up. It made it very difficult because you also like you didn't know exactly because it's like
was this pen and paper?
No, I think we were on that old My Fantasy League site. But you still had to you didn't know like what your order was because it was based off of like waiver priority sort of, so it's like reverse standings. So like the worst person in the league could show up to these and would have first pick of you're talking like 6 weeks in. So
like a Puka Nakua.
It would have been picked, first overall in that. And you basically go like for a handful of rounds.
We'd never do that in our league, but I kind of like.
It was
maybe
so
try.
Different. It was so different. And then eventually we just went away from it because free agency became the thing. But it was such a cool thing because it was also another excuse to get together.
Exactly.
Right. And so we would have a draft. And then we would go down to like, because we used to do that draft at like Felix and Oscars, right?
Oh yeah, I went there for one of those, but not like that.
And then we would go and we would do a draft at like, some bar downtown or something. Like I lived in Ames my first couple years in this league, and so like I'm driving 40 minutes to go to some fancy football supplemental
it's
draft.
It's not like you had a
Saturday.
girlfriend or anything. I mean,
no.
We had nothing better to do. It'll be kind of fun.
It certainly made it more. It was a whole different challenge,
Yeah, because usually some of those waiver guys end up being the better players for the year.
Yeah. I mean, there's almost something to be said for losing like your first week, or your first couple, because of the waiver guys that show up in those types of leagues. Now it doesn't work in our league where you're doing budget. Waiver bucks, but
which I think I still like, but
I do. Once you have one league like that, you wish they all went to that because you know how many times you're in a league and it's like if you're in the top 2 or 3 and you just don't get any of the players, you get injuries just like everybody else.
Yeah,
but you're not getting the picks.
This is a huge drive. They got to score here.
Oh yeah. The thing is that Michigan's like winning this game handedly at this point, but
that's still only 2.
Yeah. They score a touchdown. It's they get a touchdown before half, and I think they get the ball.
If they get the ball, that's huge. You could double up.
You're talking. They're not that far out of it. It's certainly not last year's title game.
Oh. TC. How did Michigan lose to that team is what's amazing. Like, Jesus.
Well, the story is, right?
No. No.
So.
Oh, they couldn't steal the signs?
Yeah, there was talk that TCU, someone let them know that Michigan had been stealing signs, and so TCU mixed it up, and they told their players that don't pay attention to the old signs.
That's pretty good.
And so there was talk that like Michigan was just
talk
lost
about
out there.
4D chess.
Yeah.
That's awesome if that's true.
I hope it is true.
That's pretty good. I take it they couldn't. They didn't do the same for Georgia. Couldn't figure that out.
No, Georgia wasn't stealing signs. They were just better than everybody.
Georgia could have told them what they were doing every play. I still think Georgia maybe is the best team in the country.
If anybody has a gripe, it's probably them.
Mm-hmm.
They probably should have been in over Texas. Alabama, I don't know.
I'm glad. I mean, you'll still have controversy next year, but not to this extent.
Yeah, you'll always have it because no matter how many people are in the playoff, there's still going to be like 4 or 5 teams that are going to be like, we should have been in instead of the other 4 teams. We're going out to visit the parents in Arizona in spring break. So we're actually flying into Vegas.
Oh, there you go.
Because it was cheaper to fly into Vegas because it's around spring break. And then we're renting a car. We're going to go to the Grand Canyon for a couple days. And then we're going to drive down to Tucson where my parents are.
Is Mia just going to push you in, cash that check?
I'm worth a lot of money, Dad.
Well, that'll be fun, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Vacations, it's
stressful with kids. I will say.
It's stressful. Everything's stressful. Like, all right, so
Yeah.
like, I didn't even think about it, right? So we're gonna go on spring break, and we're gonna go to, like I said, out to Vegas and it's Arizona. We're just flying into Vegas. But we have to find people to watch the dogs, and the people that have watched them in the past are can't do it. So like we're starting to look into like what our options are, and it's just another expense you have to add on to this. It's like, oh, you got to board the dogs, somewhere, and it's going to cost us, $600-700 to board the dog somewhere. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You can't fly with them.
Clark could just take a whole seat.
Oh man, I'd love it. He'd be a good dog. Addie'd be the problem. I could get Clark certified as like a service animal.
Service animal. You should do that.
Make the wife and kids sit and coach, and me and Clark
For first class, just drinking martinis. Tiger Woods news. What'd you think of that? I didn't read much on it, but
Yeah, Tiger Woods is leaving Nike.
I didn't. I don't know why.
It's a long time coming, really. So the thing about Nike,
Did they break up with him then?
No, never.
I didn't think so.
They would never do that. Tiger has been with Nike since he's been a professional. During that time, Nike has given up on golf. They don't produce golf clubs anymore. They don't produce golf balls anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Now, none of this plays into Tiger because I don't think this really is as an appeal to him. But Nike's golf clothing is also very plain. I think part of it is Nike. They're not big in the golf world, and so they don't see a need to really be there. So they probably weren't coming to the table with the numbers that appeal to Tiger Woods, who moves the needle.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit of, a couple different things, really. I'll be interested to see what he's going to do. But Nike also lost, like Jason Day left Nike. There's a couple others that have looked at leaving Nike golf. And I think a big part of it is just that Nike doesn't care necessarily to be in the golf game anymore. So they're not going to come to the table with the kind of money these guys are looking for.
Yeah, so who's he go with?
I don't know.
Okay.
He should just do something on his own, really.
Yeah.
He doesn't need anything. He doesn't need anybody else. Like, he's got his own Tiger Woods logo.
Yeah,
and so he could certainly, throw that on whatever type of shirts or whatever he wants. He could do that.
Yeah.
Flip that into his own clothing brand and, make it like the proceeds go to charity or something. He could really just lean on it and do whatever. He doesn't need the money.
No.
He could really do whatever he wants with it. I would be surprised if he just ends up at another major clothing brand. Like, it used to be like, so he's got TaylorMade clubs, and TaylorMade used to be aligned with Adidas, I think. And so that would have made sense, except I don't think that's the same anymore. So I don't know. But big news for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah,
that's a major loss for Nike. I mean, I'm sure they would have loved to have him continue to play under their brand. I've seen a couple posts and stuff on Instagram and Twitter or X or whatever about it. And every major milestone of his, like, you see him in that red Nike shirt on a Sunday winning the Masters of the U.S. Open.
I think of Nike. I think of him and Jordan. It's the two things I think of.
Yeah. So, well, I don't know. We'll see. I just wouldn't be surprised if he does something on his own.
What Tiger, you're welcome to come on the Soft Knocks podcast if you want to discuss this further.
I saw where like Foreplay put out an image of him in one of his red shirts, but it was their logo.
Can we do that?
They're like, "Hey, what's the budget in the Foreplay merch?"
Tell Tiger we had something made on Etsy for him.
Yeah. Let us know if the design comes over bad. We'll get it reprinted.
Yeah, it misspelled his name. Ugh.
Oh. I the last several weeks I've been betting NFL with these teasers, but they have these. If you do a 3-game teaser on DraftKings, you can get it's like I don't even know what they call it, but it's like a 13 or 14 point teaser.
Jeez.
Right? But it's 3 games, so it's a 3-game parlay.
I did see this actually. Yeah.
But it's like minus 140, right? So it's not like great odds. But what I've been doing is I've been looking at low totals. So totals around 35 in the NFL, 35 to 40.
Yeah.
And then betting the underdog. And so you get like an underdog who's like plus 6 or 7, and then you add 13 to that, and the total's only 35.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you've beat the system, Jason.
No, I didn't. Everything that feels like a cheat code never is. But they had hit quite a few times, and so I was, you can't. It's hard to like be patient and bet like a small unit on those. So I was betting more on them, but they seem to hit quite a bit. It's coming to an end though. The NFL season's about to be over, and they're not having they don't have 3 games on Saturday. So
that's true. I was just looking at the spreads for Saturday. I wanted to.
Yeah, what are
I
the
want
games
to see what
on
that
Saturday?
Kansas City under is. Although I hate watching a game that I want the under, but
I know.
I mean, 44 seems high, doesn't it? I don't know. Chiefs haven't done shit, but their defense is pretty good. Miami
is pretty
Miami
good.
in cold weather.
Miami in cold weather, and
They're
with some
beat
injuries.
up. Yeah. The other one, I think
That's going to be an epic dollar game cup.
it could be. Yeah. Browns Texans. I don't know.
What's the over?
That's 44 as well. I kind of like the over in that.
That's a good call by Vegas on that one. I could easily see that game being 24 to 20.
Yeah. Steelers Bills this would be one of those that you'd want to.
Yeah.
Plus 10 Steelers, and the over's 35.5.
Yeah. And there's 3 games on Sunday, so
Yeah.
I'll look at that one for sure. Especially since it's the playoffs.
Yeah.
The playoffs games they're pretty good. They've seen a whole season, so they have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen there. Although the Bills could just lay a beat down on Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Watt is a big deal, but that Cowboys spread's big, man. But 7.5, I don't know.
I wouldn't it's 7.5, but I also would never take Green Bay in the 7.5 there.
Dallas should. God, they should. But it's just I'm so snake bit by that.
I think
team.
there's more of a chance that Dallas runs away with it than there is that Green Bay keeps it within a touchdown.
Yeah, I could see Dallas getting up early and just blowing it open. That's what I'm hoping, but
You're sitting next year. You're sitting in. It's August. It's the 3rd Saturday in August. It's draft day. You've got the 5th pick in the draft.
who would I?
Are you taking CeeDee Lamb?
Yes, if he lasts there.
You think he's going to be in the top 4?
Dude, he leads the league in everything.
Yeah, no.
He caught Tyreek Hill.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the fire.
Yeah. No, I think he and Jefferson and Hill.
I've seen.
McCaffrey's probably 1 overall.
I have seen some stuff, and maybe this is because my Twitter is biased, but I've seen some stuff where Breece Hall is up there in that 1-2 spot.
Holy shit! So look at that box. Is that MJ, Derek Jeter?
That's what she said.
They've seen a lot of boxes. And then Stephen A. Smith, that little squirrel, gets in there.
What do you think about
But
that?
Brees Hall, I do like.
Brees Hall.
No, I do.
Like,
I
he
think
was
I
a
think
stud.
he was a stud with a terrible team.
Yeah.
With Rodgers back. No, I think that's a great. The only reason I was hesitant this year with Rodgers was that knee.
With the injury.
I mean,
we're talking about next year. He's a year.
No, I
removed
know.
from
He's
that.
proven.
Like,
He's proven he's over that. It's
Yeah.
just I've seen a lot of guys that don't look the same after that, but he does. No, he's legit. No, I think he's for sure a first rounder.
Yeah, I've seen some looks where they have him at the first overall ahead of McCaffrey.
I'd probably still lean McCaffrey, but
Yeah, I would probably too. The guy was a
Yeah.
world beater this
yeah,
year.
I
But
think I'd go McCaffrey still. But yeah, running backs are so scarce too. I mean,
and he's a guy that catches a lot of balls.
yeah, he's like McCaffrey in that sense. Yeah, no, he's good. He is. But yeah, top 5 next year probably McCaffrey, and then
You're gonna have McCaffrey.
I think those 3 receivers.
You're gonna have McCaffrey. You're gonna have JJ. You're gonna have
Hill.
CD will be up there. Tyreek will be up there. That's 4. If you throw Brees Hall in
I
that
think
mix,
Brees Hall.
it's 5.
Huh.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, I do think Bijan with a new coach.
People will, you know what? Bijan will probably be the pick of the draft next year because people will be
Butthurt over what
butthurt
happened.
over it, right?
Yeah.
And you don't know what a new coach is going to do.
They're going to use him better than Arthur Smith
Yeah.
did. I mean,
But I wouldn't be surprised if Bijan still stays down at the turn.
oh yeah,
and
he won't.
then ends up as the wide receiver 2 or 3 on the year.
Running back, Bijan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to re-record that and cut it in. You get my point. Is that
We get your point. No, I think he'll be a lot better with a new. That guy just was an idiot.
What I need to do is next summer is I need to go back and look at the first 3 rounds of the draft from this year and look at what was the misses. Like what that aren't injury related.
Tony
where
Pollard.
did we go wrong?
Tony Pollard.
Right? And then kind of look at what everybody's talking about because we're not out there doing any real analysis. We're all reading a bunch of different shit from the same writers and trying to apply that to our own what our preferences are.
Yeah.
Right? But what were those blind spots last year and where can you kind of exploit that?
You know who I'm forgetting because I'm stupid and I did not keep him as Kyron Williams. Would be probably up there first round.
Yeah.
He's every down pretty much.
Oh man, what a terrible trade by you.
Yeah, awful, the worst.
What round did you draft him in?
I don't know. Late, obviously.
Oh god.
Just brutal.
Yeah, that's
I was going all in this year, and
you
then
went all in, but you really sacrificed.
future.